What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing well today. You guys are new here. This is Hugh, and this is the Waterbox 7225 build. You guys are new here. Last week we installed this pH meter back here. I could get between all of the wiring. I didn't clean it up or anything, but when I put the probe in, it was at 7.4. And then it kind of just slowly climbed up to 8, and it just stayed at 8 since then. I've seen it at 8.1, 8.0, but the probe's right there at 8. Today, I think I'm gonna get that Kalk reactor in. I'm thinking about putting it right behind right here and having that exit elbow come out and then into the sump. That way the return pump can pick up that Kalk water and put it through the entire tank right here. But first, I wanted to take care of my cyanobacteria. It comes and goes, and I haven't done water changes at all. I do have a stick that I stir up everything right here to get it moving, but I think I need to just take it out of the tank. You know, it's looking kind of nasty, so I'm gonna pan back right here. The entire tank, it's looking okay, but then the sand, it just looks super nasty. I got snails and stuff, but you know, I got a puffer in there, and I think he's kind of flipping them over like that. There's a bunch over here on the glass and everything, but I think he's flipping them over and even taking a bite out of them. If they're small enough for his mouth, he'll chomp on them. But yeah, I got something to take care of the cyanobacteria. I didn't want to use ChemiClean or Vibrant or anything like that. I think just exporting it and then doing a water change would kind of correct the issue. Let me show you guys what I got. So right here I got a Python Gravel Vac. I just bought the Gravel Vac by itself without the hose, and I went to Home Depot and bought the 1/2 inch inner diameter hose to plug into here. It's like 28 inches or so, so I'm not even going to get my arm wet or anything like that. I'm just gonna start the siphon and siphon all of this gunk out. Down here I got 5 gallons mixing. We'll siphon out 5 gallons and then pour in the new 5 gallons, just 5-gallon water change. Now I'm all by myself. I don't think you guys want to see me do gravel vacuuming or whatever, or sand vacuuming with this tool, but this thing is on Amazon. It's pretty cheap by itself. There's many sizes. My tank is like 25, I think 24 inches top to bottom, and this thing is like 28 or 29 inches, so it's working out perfectly. I'm gonna turn off the camera and just vacuum all of this up into the 5-gallon bucket, and then I'll turn it back on. Alright, I got all of my pumps shut off, and this is where the water level's landing. If I have a power outage or anything like that, even with the back siphon with the return pipe right there, my water level is like 1.5 inches down from the display, but my sump, thank God it's not overflowing. I still have room to take on more water right here. That was one of the concerns, is if the power turns off or anything like that, is my sump gonna overflow? And no, it's not gonna overflow. But before I start the vacuuming of the sand, I want to show you guys my cucumber right here. I got it to kind of be in here to stir up the sand and everything. It's kind of a bottom feeder, eats up leftover food and detritus. I'm not even sure, but it's eating up the sand, and then the sand's going through its body, and then it poops out clean sand. So you see pellets of clean sand coming out right here. But Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But I'll start the siphon right now, and I'll get to work on this sand and see how much I could get out with 5 gallons. Alright guys, that was like 10 minutes. The water was just siphoning out super fast, so I had to pinch the hose and like slowly move my way through the sand. I got as much as I can out of it. It's just thick layers and it's just breaking it up. And hopefully I'm doing like a deep cleaning down in the sand to get rid of that gunk or whatever, to kind of stop the cyanobacteria from coming up. I'm only by myself, so I use this clamp right here to clamp the hose down to make sure that's down here. Otherwise, while I'm up top, if I didn't have that that clamp right there, the hose could just get out of the bucket and I'll have water all over my floor and stuff. So I still have a little room left in the bucket. I'm just gonna go in and do the finer siphon of whatever's on top right here, like that flapping cyano right there. I'll pull that out, and then once it's up to the line, we'll get the new bucket of water in. Alright, I got the new bucket of water in. Everything's turned back on, and it self-started the siphon, so that puts me at ease, because I never really turned off my tank on and off to see what would it do. But yeah, it's reassuring to know that if the power turns off, my sump's not going to overflow, and when the power turns back on, the Toms Aqualifter will just start pumping air until water rises up to a certain point and goes over the overflow, and it will keep on pumping until the siphon is restarted with the hang on the back overflow right here, and everything gets dialed back into where I left it off, so I don't need to tinker with it any further. So it's just on and off, and it will find its balance, to say. But I'm pretty happy with the setup so far. For people who are new, you guys keep on coming in and telling me just drill the tank. I did have a Fiji cube overflow. I did have a, for those that are new that come through and see this overflow and you tell me to just get over it and drill the tank. It's just much safer that way. I do agree with you, but I didn't want to go through the hassle of drilling the tank and like risk breaking it and things like that. I did buy a Fiji cube overflow kit. It was pretty nice too. It would have probably fit across the entire tank right here, the front to back. It was that big. It was like $100 and something. I bought it, came with the drill bits and everything, but usually when I'm drilling the tanks, I have it outside with the water running and everything. But for this one, it was so massive that it just went from my garage into my living room, and that was a huge feat in itself. And by the time it got here, I didn't even know how to drill that tank that tank inside the house without water and all of that. So I got 2 of these overflows from bulk resupply before they discontinued them, so I'll be using this for now. Until then, I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll revisit the Fiji cube overflow in the future. I still have it, but right now this thing is just working for me as is, and it's not that big of a headache or anything like that. So back to the tank. Everything is mostly siphoned out. I just gotta go back and blow the sand off of these frags and everything. And how I do that is with this, pull it right here, this tube I got off of Amazon. I think it's a Kent Marine feeding tube. It extends up and down, and it's pretty big. I don't gotta reach my hand into the tank, so I'll do this one-handed so you guys can see what I do. So this Space Invader chalice right here has sand all over it. Just blow the sand off. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to see me do this, so I'll turn it off here. Alright, now with that out of the way, I want to get that calc reactor kind of in position. I'm too lazy to kind of plug up everything today, but we'll get the doser mounted up and the calc reactor in position. I need to go to Home Depot and buy some of the elbows and things like that to kind of plumb everything into the sump, but we'll just get it into position today and get the doser mounted to the back wall right here, right there. So everything, my ATO auto top off reservoirs right here. It's 29-gallon tank, and it's just going to be very close proximity to the calc reactor, so we'll figure it out right now. Alright, so I pulled the tank out so I could get in there, otherwise it's a pain in the butt. Even though all of the controllers are back here, it's nice and everything, but I gotta reach through all of this piping and everything to get back there to touch things. But luckily I don't do that often, but it's nice real estate for all of the controllers. I wouldn't know where else to put this stuff if I had a regular height stand. My stand is like 40 inches high, so I have all of this room to work with and all of this room to add these reactors and everything. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt to reach back there, but luckily I can remove this tank easily, and we'll set up everything, clean up all of the wires, and then just get that pump, that doser pump hooked up, the reactor back here, and then we'll see how it goes. I'm always winging it. I don't have a plan or anything like that. I just know I need to get the reactor in and the pump up. Alright, the doser came with 2 screws, and my thing's just a board back there. I just zipped it in with this Ryobi drill. It just zipped right in. We can get the channel and wires hidden right here, and we'll run the lines. Alright guys, so off camera I got everything situated. I got more channeling in place to hide my wiring and my dosing lines and everything like that. So I have the dosing line, potentially it's gonna go into this RODI container. It's gonna be pure RODI water. I'm gonna have a pump, the auto top off system, the Tunzi auto top off system right here to top off with fresh RODI water, and the calc reactor would also pull from the same container just to dose for the calc water. Now pH meter will trigger the doser, so if it goes under 8.3, pH meter would trigger the doser to pull water from this container right here into the dosing pump, and then the line goes into the calc reactor right here at the bottom. You guys can see that. That would in turn fill up the calc reactor or stirrer, and fresh saturated calc would overflow into the container and then overflow out of this hole right here into the sump. I just need to find a pipe or a hose to plug into here and then have it go into the sump, and from there the water would get picked up with the return pump. It's kind of nasty right now. Picked up with the return pump, go through all of this and into the display up here. My probe is over there, so it'll read the pH and everything, and once it gets to the desired pH, it would just stop dosing it. Hopefully that would kind of automate everything with the Kalk, because right now up to this point I've been just mixing Kalk into this RODI container right here, and it's just going into the system whenever the water is evaporating and the auto top off is kicking off. It's picking up this Kalk water, and we all know that the evaporation rate is not consistent throughout all of the seasons and everything. So during summer it's going to evaporate more than winter, things like that. So hopefully with this pH meter, everything is going to be more stabilized and everything like that. Now I did plug in another Kasa outlet just for the stir, the motor itself. I've read some reviews, and also some of you guys reached out and let me know that it's pretty loud, so you guys just turn it on once every couple of hours or so for like a minute or so. I'll do the same with the Kasa smart plug. I already have it set up, just need to plug it in and everything. So yeah guys, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think with the channeling and everything. I'm gonna clean it up right here. I added 2 more on this beam right here to hide all of my wiring. My one channel was not enough because I added more hoses and wiring and everything like that. And up top right here, I'm gonna hide that hose right there with the cover. So hopefully everything would look super clean, and we'll get going. Alright guys, there's a opening up top right here. It's for a probe. If you want to run another probe to see how high the pH is for the Kalk reactor, you can do that. But right now I'm just running the line, my RODI line, into here, fill it up with water, and do a little leak test. I have Kalk in there as well. I'm gonna fill it up just to a point where it's not gonna overflow yet, and then I'm gonna run the motor, see how it works out and everything. But I'm gonna wait until I use up all of this Kalk water before I start using this reactor. It's gonna be probably a week or 2, but we'll wait until then. Right now I just want to do a leak test on the reactor and see how this runs with the Kalk in there. You guys can hear that. Yeah, the motor's pretty loud, like really loud. I wouldn't want that running like 24/7 like that. Stupid. Alright guys, sorry I have to end it here versus running this Kalk reactor for you guys to see. 1, it's pretty loud. 2, I wanted to use all of this up and fill it up with just pure RODI water, no Kalk in it at all. So we could have 2 standalone systems, one for auto top off, and then all of the Kalk coming out of here solely for dosing for pH, which in turn would keep my alkalinity stable and all of that. We'll give it a week or so, and then we'll give this a run. But yeah, that's it guys. I cleaned up all of my wiring and everything, and I put this together right here. This is my auto top off. So what was happening was my auto top off tank is higher than the sump, and when I have my hose, or whenever the water's up to the very top, it's kind of dripping in water here through gravity, I guess, because the hose is lower than the tank itself. So it's dripping slowly, and then I end up with this right here, the water level being a little too high. So what I did was I mounted the hose up higher right here, but I didn't want it to splash into the sump. So I got this pipe right here and I zip tied it so it's gonna run off the wall so it doesn't start a siphon. So the end of the hose is up here. It's gonna be higher than the RODI container, so when it comes off, I didn't want it to splash into the sump right here from up top so high, so I put in this clear pipe so it could kind of travel along the wall right here, the pipe, and then get into the sump that way. That way I would not have this issue anymore. Besides that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.